Thank you. 5 years ago when I came here, one of the things you do when you come into a position like this is you want to take an inventory of all the assets. And so Missy led me on a tour of all our facilities. And I toured the fencing facility. And at one point in the tour, we go through a door, and there's a caged area, a fenced-in area, that's covered with towels. And I said, "What's that?" And they said, "Well, the boiler is in there." And I said, "Okay. Is that where they're drying towels?" They said, "No, the towels are up there because that's where our female fencers change." That was their locker room. I knew then that we had a facility issue. It didn't take much to see that. And so we've had on our radar for a while getting to this point. But being able to do that requires three things, all of which we have in abundance in this instance. First of all, you have to have a good enough program to make the investment that's reflected here today. And of course, this isn't a good program. This is a spectacular program. This is a program that's won 8 NCAA titles, 27 individual NCAA championships, produced 279 All-Americans, 10 student athletes who have competed in Olympic Games, and of course, one which made all of us extremely proud by carrying the flag that led the Americans in to the recent Olympic Games in Muriel Seguinus. And so it was a program with great athletes and great history, but you only get there if you have a program that has great coaches as well. And it was obvious to me from the success that this program had that coaching staff. But there was one thing that really fascinated me about them, in that given the facility deficiencies, it was never an excuse. It was never a reason not to succeed. I hear from my coaches a lot about what they need. I rarely heard from Janusz about having to get this done. We need this done tomorrow. He made clear that they needed it. Now, of course, he may have been telling me and I couldn't understand. But he demonstrated a remarkable patience. He let me know we needed to fix this, but it wasn't, we can't succeed if you don't get this done. It was, we will succeed until you get this done, and then we'll be even better for it when you do. So, the first piece of the recipe is a great program, and I thank all of you, coaches and student athletes, who have given Notre Dame one of its very best programs in the fencing program. And in saying that, it's important to recognize the guy who initially started us down this path, and Mike DeCicco. Mike, thank you. Secondly, you have to work in an environment, in a university that understands the value that athletics brings to the university. With all the success of this program, it's not one that gets us on the cover of Sports Illustrated or causes us to be broadcast on national television. It brings great athletic recognition. But what it has been for Notre Dame is a great proof of concept that you can be great students and great student athletes at the same time. And so it's very much a representative program for this university, one that stands for the values we stand for. And so the university was a great partner in this. It began with a flexibility to consider a different plan for hockey. And then we found a solution for hockey to be open to a use of this space which would serve the needs of the fencing program, but still allow us to use it for other things, hence the flexibility of this part of the venue. We can still host a big dinner here. We can still use it for commencement, and we can still have it be an excellent venue for our fencing program. So the university's partnership in this was critical. And in that regard, special recognition to Missy and her partner in crime, Julie Boyden, who have designed everything you see in our athletics facilities here. All of the theming, all of the thoughtfulness about student-athlete space, that all represents Missy's handicraft. And Missy, we thank you for all that great work. And finally, you need the critical support of people familiar with your program, but outside it, who can help make it happen. And of course, in the Castellan family, we have that. That they would choose to help the fencing program in the way they have is very significant for me and Father Jenkins, because they had 2 children in the program. It speaks to their assessment of the validity of the program as part of our academic mission, that they believe the impact of the program for Chris and Matt was a good experience and central to their education at this university. And of course, that's what we want athletics to be about. And so when people like Pat and Connie come forward and validate that, and say, we agree with that concept and we're going to show our support, it's critical. But it's important for you to know that their support didn't just extend to financial support. They really pressed us to get this right. They were part and parcel of the process of thinking about what this should be. We went through a lot of iterations, different places, different concepts, until we hit on this one. And had they not been as vigilant as they were in trying to make sure we got to the right solution, we would not have gotten the one which is as powerful as the one we're dedicating here today. So it's a great pleasure for me, on behalf of the university, to thank the Castellan family for their gracious support and leadership of this important project. Pat and Connie.